Hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy Thriving Thursday. Let me pull up the YouTube to see who's here and who's on time, who wants to come engage today. I know y'all are probably like, where's Miss Joni? Who is this Miss Simone lady? We came for Miss Joni. But it's me today. I'm happy to see y'all. Hey, Kim. Hey, Donovan. Who else we got? Yolanda. Okay, okay. I know these faces. So maybe y'all probably, well, not faces, but names. And I see your picture. I see your picture, Yolanda and Kim. Happy Thriving Thursday. How are y'all doing? How are you feeling? Let me know in the chat. I'm really, really happy to be here, y'all. It has been too long since I've been on this platform. I know some of y'all may know me from success sessions. I was up to say it's definitely giving early success sessions. Hey Bree. Some of y'all might know me from the 10 a.m. success session. But I usually just am around. If y'all know me, you see me. I used to be around more often before school sucked up my whole life, but I'm happy to be here today with y'all, talk, chat, see what's going on. I need y'all to give me the updates, which I've been up to. Hey, Tay Vance. I'm really, really excited for this summer and excited for this hour that we have together to get into some stuff. So y'all know how we do. It's not a session with Miss Simone if we don't have a PowerPoint. That's just how I learn. That's how I just need a visual. I need something to guide the conversation. I don't know if you guys are like that too, but that's how I am. But even though I'm gonna have a PowerPoint, I definitely want us to talk and discuss. It's been a minute since I've been here, like I said, and I want to see how y'all are doing. I want us to talk in the chat. Shoot, y'all know how we do too. If anybody wants the link and wants to come on and talk with me up here, we can do that too. So, yeah, we're going to have a good time. And you know how we go. It's never enough time by the time the session ends. So, I'm going to jump right into it. I have a little icebreaker we could do. Hey, Zion. Hey, Trackstar. So let me share my screen. But let me know how y'all's day was. It is definitely St. Patrick's Day. I was not hip until someone told me, "Hey, Soul, happy Thursday." I was in the elevator in my building and someone's like, "Where's your green at?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And they're like, "It's St. Patrick's Day. Where's your green?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it is St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day, y'all." Hey, Gemma. Okay, let's see. Can y'all see my screen? Let me do this. Okay, I feel like y'all can see my screen, but let me know in the chat if you can't, because if y'all can't see it, that defeats the whole purpose. All right. So I figure we could do a little icebreaker, check in, let people, get in before we get into the content today and get into the stuff. So let me know what y'all are thinking. I have two kind of icebreaker questions we can answer. The first one is because it's St. Patrick's Day. So I figured we could do a little feeling lucky icebreaker. So if you had one wish, and it could be anything, there's no rules to it. If you have one wish, what would it be? Or because it's Women's History Month, shout out to all of our women out here leading, holding it down. You guys can also tell me who is one woman in your life that you admire and why. Oh, I love that, Bree. Yes, that is a good way. You said if I had one wish, I would bring my grandma back. Unlimited wishes. Yes, that's the one that people do so that you can get like a loophole into the question. I like that, Yolanda. If you had one wish, you'd ask for unlimited wishes. I see Donovan saying my day was honestly amazing. I got an A+ on my chemistry unit test and in Spanish. Oh, yes. And you're in ROTC too, Donovan. You be working. We love to see it. Anybody else want to answer? I'm going to say some answers too so we can, you know, get into it. But hey, Ayana or Anaya, I'm sorry if I'm messing it up, but I just want to tell you, hey, sorry if I'm messing it up. You have to correct me. Okay, and Bree said, I would say I would admire all women because I know, like, I just be getting up and doing what they got to do on the daily is a big job. So cheers to y'all. Thank you for the kudos, Bree. I love it. All right. Antonio said, my day was good. I got A's and B's. Oh, I love that. Doing good with your sketchbook. Yes. Gemma, not you trying to control time. Well, I kind of like that, but it also makes me nervous. What would you do to control time? You want it to slow down? You want to speed it up? Oh, Cam. Cam said I admire Miss Simone because you're always so positive. Girl, don't have me on the live crying. You know I love you and I love y'all. Anytime I'm with Heartbeats, it's good company and good vibes. So I can't help but to be positive. And you know I admire you too. So all right, Soul said, one woman that I admire is me. Yes, first in my family to break generational curses and live out my dreams. If I had one wish, it would be to have enough money. Oh man, I gotta read faster. Okay, I'm sorry, Soul. I didn't see the rest, but I got you, girl. I loved what you said. Mine said, I admire my granny because she stepped up and worked multiple jobs. Bree said she's proud of you, Soul. Zion said, I admire my strength. And Gemma said she needs to slow down time so she can have more time to paint and sleep. Yes. Yes. We love that one. Cam said, if I had one wish, it would be my best self every day despite hardships. I love that, Cam. And you already do that, Cam. You know you show up and show out, and we love to see it. Oh, these are good answers. I love these guys. All right, Trackstar said, well, one woman I admire is my aunt because she gets things done for my cousin being a single parent since she lost my uncle. Yes. When I tell y'all, I mean, we love our guys, but it's something women just, they do what they need to do. They hold it down. It's nothing like having a good, strong woman figure in your life that's going to be there for you and guide you and just, she's going to hold it down. So, all right. And then I'm going to read one more before we go into our topic for the day. Maya said, if I had one wish, it would be to fix all mental illnesses and travel the world. Yes, that would be good. I love, love, love that. And hey, Tay. Oh, it's good to see y'all. I'm really ready. Y'all are getting me too hyped for this summer. I hope y'all are ready for this summer because we just keep getting better and better. And I can't wait to see y'all up here with us leading sessions. And we actually had a really good topic on Mondays, on Mission Mondays. Coach Johnson asked me and Miss Mo some really good questions about what can adults teach young people. So, me and Miss Mo had to flip the question back on y'all and ask, what do y'all want us to teach you? And so we had some really good stuff about like just how to up your credit score and how do you like go about buying your first apartment and what is this taxes thing? How do you do your taxes? So that gave me some really good ideas and I'm excited to get those topics to you all so we can honestly learn together because y'all, this adulting life is no joke. It's really ghetto up here. So enjoy your youth, please. Enjoy your youth. But all right, thank y'all for engaging. I love this. I love this. Y'all know how we do. We're going to keep engaging the whole time. So keep the comments going. I want to hear from y'all. And yeah. So today I was thinking we could talk about servant leadership. So I wanted to see what comes to y'all's mind first when you hear the word servant leadership. And like, what do you think? Have y'all heard about it before? Do you have any ideas of what you think servant leadership is? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. And yes, Coach Johnson definitely brought the heat. It was great. And everybody who was a part of Mission Mondays had some really good responses too. Like, y'all got my life together on Monday. I needed that so much. It was like a great way to start the week. So shout out to the year-round program, Mission Mondays, all the year-round fellows, because y'all did great. Okay, so Maya says leadership that serves others. Never heard of it. Okay, I love it. Well, we're gonna talk about it today, Maya, and you're spot on. Bree, it says I never heard of it. Okay, we're gonna talk about it today. This is good. Antonia said, "This is my first time hearing that now that you bring it up." Oh, good. I'm so happy because I was like, I hope, what can we talk about that's going to be helpful? Something that's, you know, different. But I think you guys will see as we go through the presentation that a lot of y'all exemplify servant leadership already, or that's something that you're striving to become better and better at. So I'm excited that this is new. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get into it today. All right. So I know for me, when I first heard servant leadership, I was like, okay. First of all, I got a little weary because I'm like, what is this servant? Like, I don't know about this. It's giving slavery, it's giving master servant. And like, I don't like the hierarchy. Like, I like to think that everyone is equal, that, anybody and everybody can be a leader. I think leadership looks different. And then once I really learned about the definition and I got into it, I was like, oh, this is exactly, I want to embody. It's pretty much servant leadership is like a non-traditional style of leadership. It's really a philosophy or a mindset that is embedded in a set of behaviors and practices that places emphasis on the well-being of others and those being served. I know, I'm sorry, y'all, not giving slavery, but sometimes some of these words, I'm like, servant, why are we still using that language? But then when I looked at the definition, I was like, this is literally what we talk about at Heart Smiles. Like, this is literally what we do. So I'm like, let me get out of the whole name of it and really get into the definition of what it is and how we can use it. And I started realizing, like, this is the kind of leader that I want to be, that I want to embody. Like, whenever I'm in a place of leadership, it's not about me. It's like, yeah, about the goal and the mission, but the only way we can get to the goal and the mission is if we're thinking about the people we serve and also the people on our team, so that the whole team is thinking in that mindset of like, how are we going to serve our community? How are we going to serve our customers if we have a business? How are we going to, just not think of like a sense of like, I need to have control, I need to have autonomy, but it's really like coming from a place of humility, kind of realizing that, oh my gosh, okay, now that I do have this power, this responsibility, I have this influence, how am I going to use all of that for a greater good? And just like you said, Brie, it's always bigger than us. And like, that's what I love about servant leadership. And we'll talk about it more throughout, but it really reminds you to like not make everything about you. It's not always about us. Even though I know we have a lot going on in our lives and stuff, and like a lot of the times it can look like, just feel like everything in your own world is just, it's a lot. But when you like embody these principles of servant leadership, it reminds you to take a step back, think about the bigger picture and how you can be of service to others in your leadership. So, what y'all think about that now that you kind of have a definition? Like, is this kind of what you thought it was when you first heard it, or is it different? And you definitely hit the money on the head. You said it's about serving others when you first said your answer. So that was good. All right, let's go on to the next thing. So there's really four main principles of servant leadership that we can like walk through and kind of talk through tonight. And it's really simple. I like love. Oh, good. Donovan said it was what I thought it was. Good, good. And Maya, yep, you were definitely right. I was gonna say a lot of the times I need to stop reading into stuff. I'd be like always ready to like, I'm like, what does this mean? And what is this? And it's literally what it says it means. Servant leadership is just being of service to others. And there's four main principles, which I'm like glad that it's just four, because I feel like these four things are something that we can all like achieve. This is not anything that's too hard. Like all of us can do it. And it's only four. So these are like things, four things that we can work on. It's not like it's a list of 20 principles. It's not a whole book. If you guys and all of us can hold each other accountable to these four principles, and I really think we're all going to grow and be better leaders each and every day. So, and I see Sydney in the chat. Hey, Sydney, happy Thriving Thursday. All right. So the first principle is encourage diversity of thought. And it pretty much is like trying to just open your mind, make sure that you are not being somebody that's closed minded. You want to be a leader that encourages people to think outside of the box. And that really all starts with like making sure that you have different people on your team or in your circle or just in your life, like a lot of the times when I'm starting to lead stuff or I'm doing projects, I'm always thinking like, who else should be a part of this conversation that's not a part of this conversation, and like I know diversity is kind of a hot topic now. More and more companies and people want to be diverse, but I'm like, making sure that I'm always pushing myself to think deep. It's not just race, like, okay, yes, we want different races, we need that, but also do we have different genders at the table? Are there men, women, people who don't identify as a man or a woman, people who are artists, people who are like want to be doctors? Are there different people that have different religions than me that can help to bring that different perspective? Are there older people? Are there younger people? And not every time you're gonna have like every single person. That's okay. A lot of the times it might depend on the issue or the people that you might have access to. But at least if we all like kind of start there of reminding ourselves that there's such a diverse world and how can we bring those perspectives in, it's already gonna help us go on to the second bullet point of like making sure that we're thinking outside of the box because we all have different perspectives and different walks of life that we bring. And like one thing I always remember is like, nobody has lived the exact life you live. Like your perspective and your insight is uniquely you, and that's valuable, and the same to the next person and the next person. So when we can value each other's perspective and really focus on listening rather than just trying to be right, y'all, I'm telling you, that right there might actually be a jewel. I think I just surprised myself. Listening to listen and not listening to be right or listening to respond, like those are good characteristics of a leader because a lot of the times we just need to like really try to understand where someone's coming from before we put our own thoughts and judgments and stuff like that on it. So Maya, I see your comment. You said it kind of reminds me of a nun of they believe in serving others before themselves. Yes, nuns definitely do that. It's like service to others. And like, I want y'all to really think about this in the context of leadership too. Because I think like those two concepts together, usually when you think of leadership and like putting others before yourself, sometimes those don't necessarily always go hand in hand. It takes a special kind of person and leader to still have influence and still lead, but also be humble and like really focused on how to help others. So I really love that. And then this last one that I wanted to talk about, embracing healthy tensions. This is so key, y'all, because I'm the kind of person that used to avoid conflict. I'm like, I don't like drama. I don't want any conflict. How can we just all be in harmony? And to the most part, I still agree. Like, I'm not for the drama. But I realize not everything is drama and not every conflict is a bad conflict. And like I said before, we all have different walks of life and we're all going to see the world a little differently. And so you're probably going to have some healthy tensions. And I love the word healthy tensions because it's okay. Like, we're human beings that are going to have our good days. We're going to have our bad days. We're going to bring our experiences to it. And so sometimes I realize if I'm not seeing eye to eye to somebody, how can I step back and like kind of think through, okay, there's a point of tension. What is this? What is the reason for this tension? Like, how can I like take a step back to listen? How can I help this person understand where I'm coming from? How can I see where they're coming from? And usually through that, like you can get to that healthy tension because maybe it's just a misunderstanding. Maybe there needs to be more communication there. Maybe you need to take a step back. Maybe the tension is good because now we're causing people to realize like, hey, your behaviors are not okay. Like, and maybe it causes them to reflect. And like, I'm trying to think of an example that I can give. Let me read Tony's comment while I think of this example. Antonio said, I'm fine. I'm not going to serve nobody unless we're doing it for the good and changing lives. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Here's a perfect example of that comment. Okay. So y'all know I'm in school, right? I'm like at school in DC, and I'm really working on trying to increase our youth engagement because what we're trying to do at the work that I'm doing is we want to increase the number of mental health programs and services in schools from like elementary to high schools. And like we're really struggling in the high schools. Um, and like we put all these programs and services there, but the young people don't know about the services. They don't really like the services. And it kind of is like, dang, we really wasted money. So I was telling them diversity of thought, y'all can't keep building these programs and asking the young people afterwards why they don't like it. You need to ask them in the beginning, give them opportunities to lead. They know what they like, they know what their peers like, just like how y'all do at Haya. You know, I'd be thinking about y'all all the time when I'm doing this work because I'm like, the heartbeats are a great example of youth leadership, and I thank y'all for doing what you do because it gives me like really good examples to point to. I'm like, oh, you don't think young people can do it? Let me send you the link to this. Let me send you the link to that. So thank you, Heartbeats. But yes, okay, so I'm working with this youth group in DC, right? And they created this concept of a virtual wellness center. And pretty much it's just a website that's really nice. They use Bitmojis, and they like create these rooms on the website where it looks like a couch and like it almost looks like you're in someone's office. And they put resources on there and they make it really cool. They have like small video clips because I'm like, nobody's gonna read all this stuff. Y'all need to give it in engaging ways. They're really, really great. And lots of the young people say they like it. But the city, like the government, the school board, they're like, okay, we like it, but we need to vet all these resources. We need to see the resources. They're like, stop the project, stop the project. We can't have this going out unless we see what information is on there because they're like, God forbid you guys put this information on there and it's wrong and a young person gets hurt and all this stuff. So y'all know I'm so frustrated because I'm like, literally, this is a great solution. Y'all said the problem was that high schoolers don't know about the services and they don't like the services. We have young people here saying that this is a good avenue. Put it on the website, make it fun and creative, make it videos, and that'll be a good way to get the services. We asked other young people, did they like it? They said yes. You think it would be a simple solution, but no. Here comes the healthy tension, right? So I realized I was like, okay, Simone, this is the exact moment. It's not about being right or wrong. Let me step back and listen to everybody's point of view. How can we show each side that both of their like opinions matter and like work through this healthy tension? Because it's not that the adults don't want the kids to get the resources, they just don't. They're worried about, well, how do we know the resources are good or not? So we came up with solutions so that they could look over the resources before the young people put them on the website, and then we don't have to stop the project and the young people can keep leading the project and stuff. And so just helping people to see that, okay, there might be tensions, and before everyone gets upset and just tries to stop the project or just everything blows up and everyone's yelling and we're not seeing eye to eye, and now we have this conflict that we can't move towards, we just embrace it. We take a step back, we try to hear both sides and really be solution oriented. And so far, it's been working. And now the government people have been coming to meetings with the young people. The young people are sending the government people resources. The government people are sending the young people resources. And that's kind of an example of what I mean by healthy tensions and like being a servant leader, kind of like what you said, Antonio, is like sometimes it's hard to serve other people when you feel like they're wrong or like you feel like they're not doing things for the best interest. But you have to remember it's not about like what we think is right or wrong. It's trying to like take a step back, embrace that everyone has different opinions, and try to figure out how we can find common goals within those different opinions. So I hope that was an okay example because that's like a really good one of like trying to take that servant leadership mindset even in the midst of conflict. But let me know what y'all think. If it did, we can have plenty of examples too. If y'all have any, I definitely want to hear from y'all. And if that one doesn't make sense, I can think of another one. But okay. The next one is creating a culture of trust. Oh, good. Okay, wait, I see some comments. Donna said, just changed my whole perspective. Good. Okay, glad. I'm glad. And Antonia said, like, I can serve people, but I don't want to do it if they're not gonna, if they ain't gonna got a plan. I know it's really hard. It's really, really hard. And so, and every point that you're making is valid. And I want you to think, because like, that's kind of the problem. Like, everyone thinks they're a servant leader until you have to serve people that you don't like. And that's really the test, because you're not always going to like people. There are going to be people that you have to serve that you feel like they don't deserve it because they're not for the people in it, but you always know it's a bigger goal. And sometimes you have to get through those bad people and you have to show them what it really means to be a servant leader. And when you work through those healthy tensions and you model it by living it out, then those people usually change their attitudes. Because I'm gonna give y'all another example. I'm gonna wait. Let's talk about trust, because I see Gemma say yes, that trust is so important. I do want to get into that, and y'all know we'll be here all day, but I'm gonna give y'all another example of what it's like to try to have servant leadership, even when there's people in the way that don't have a plan, that don't want to get on board, all that, because those people are out there, unfortunately. But let's get into this trust. So, trust is so important in leadership, because I feel like Miss Johnny talks about this too all the time. No one wants to follow someone that they don't trust. Like, how are you going to be a leader and I don't trust you? You're not communicating your mission or your why. Like, why are we here? Why are we doing what we want to do? A lot of y'all have put in the chat the importance of like doing something that's bigger than yourself. And I think that's so important and valuable. And I'm the same way. So like, as a servant leader, you definitely want to communicate to your team, always reiterate what is the mission, why we're doing what we're doing, because that helps everyone to kind of get back on the same goal and same, you know, just same team and spirit in mind, and realize that this is bigger than us. And then you also want to state your values and live by them. And that second part is so crucial, y'all, because this is how people break trust. You can't say one thing and then do another. And people are always watching. And this is why you really have to like check your values and be transparent, because we're still all human beings and we're going to mess up, right? Like, no one's perfect. We're going to make mistakes. But a part of that is being transparent and vulnerable, and even calling out when you made a mistake. Ooh, ooh, that hurts. To have to say I'm wrong and own it and be like, you know what, y'all? I know I said our values are to communicate, to hold each other accountable, to be on time, and I've been slacking lately on that. And being transparent about that with people, it goes a long way. Like, that is a great test of leadership, because you cannot be a person that's like, do as I say and not as I do. No, you need to do as you say and do as you do, because that really helps to build trust in people. It shows your character. It shows that you're a person of your word, and it helps people to like realize that, okay, I can trust this person. I can follow them as a leader, because they're going to try their best to be a person of integrity, of transparency. And if they ever mess up there and make a mistake, they're even going to tell me that too. And I'm not going to sit here and act like it's easy, because when you're vulnerable with people, I feel like the reason why they call it vulnerable is because you don't have your guard up. You definitely are opening up the door for people to judge you, people to talk about you, people to shame you. But there's always going to be those people. And for every person that's going to judge you or try to shame you or try to talk about you, there's going to be a person that's going to support you. There's going to be a person that's going to forgive you. There's going to be a person that's going to cheer you on despite your mistakes. So don't focus on those people that want to stay in the broke bum mindset and judge you as you're being vulnerable. You focus on those people that are going to embrace you, support you, encourage you, and hold you accountable and help you towards your goals when you're vulnerable. All right. So yes, y'all are preaching in the chat. I see Keisha said, practice what you preach. Yes, yes, yes. That is such a golden rule, y'all. Practice what you preach. And even if you make a mistake, because we're humans, just be honest. Own up to your mistakes. I love a person. I will never be upset when there's someone who can at least own up to their mistakes and genuinely tries to change. I'm not here for people who want to act like they have it all together when I see you saying one thing and doing another. But whew, don't get us started. Okay. Hey, Naeem. Happy Thriving Thursday. Not you getting caught up. What you getting caught up doing? It's okay. We're happy you're here, though. It's better late than never, and I miss you. All right. So the last 2 points for this is that trust is earned, not given. And this is a big one because I know a lot of people like I don't know. It just people because I think sometimes we have like a social media generation and like things are so quick and at your fingertips, but like sometimes trust it takes time. You have to build relationships with people. You have to check in with people. You have to like show them multiple times where you were really practicing what you were preaching and when you didn't practice what you preached, you were vulnerable and like those things over time as people start to get to know you that's how they start to trust you and people have had different experiences so sometimes trust comes a little easier for us than others and so you just have to realize that and know that about your team, know that about yourself, and just communicate that with others and it's really about being genuine and being caring. You don't have to try to force stuff. You just walk in as your authentic self and show how you are genuine in the ways that you are. And you will start to see over time that you're creating trust with people. But let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. Naeem said he was trying to get some assignments out the way. Okay, we love to see it. Yes, Naeem, stay on top of that work. Okay. Bree said, OMG, yes, I feel as though people just be expecting you to trust them. Yeah, that's not how it works. I'm like, trust takes time, Bree. You better preach. You have to show me that I can trust you. Yes. And then Naeem said, the only time I'll expect someone to trust me is when the time you know me enough. Exactly. And Gemma said, when I can tell people are genuine, it's easier for a bond of trust to be built. I couldn't agree more. Oh, you guys, you see why I'm like, y'all already know, y'all be doing this, but now you just have some language to put with it. Like, I'm trying to embody these characteristics of being a servant leader because I already start to do this in my day to day. And now I'm gonna just keep building on these skills and keep practicing them. And yeah, y'all are y'all are doing it. But the trust is just a really, really big one. And I think it's to all the points that y'all made. Like, it takes time, it takes being genuine, and, it just really takes being authentic. Be you. Like, I know I'm very smiley, like that's just me. But not everybody's smiley, and that's okay. But some people are better at checking in. Like, y'all have that friend that will really check on you. Like, they might have a mean mug on their face, but like once you become friends with them, they're like one of your most loyal friends. Like, those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. Like, just be genuine and whatever that means for you, and it will go a long way. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 3, have an unselfish mindset. Oh, y'all, this is really, 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 really a big one. And we kind of already talked about this in the beginning, so we don't have to harp on the point. But y'all, I hate to break it, but it's really not about us. We really be in our own world thinking stuff is about. It's not about us. It is about something bigger. And the moment you kind of take that step back, because some things do feel personal, some things are going to feel like an attack because you are like, in a position of leadership. And so you're like, are they coming for me? Like, are we doing? But nine times out of 10, it's not about us. Like, just try to put those feelings to the side and keep your mission and your why at hand and keep it going. Oh, Jim, I said sometimes I think I'm too unselfish. No, that's real because I definitely struggle with that too. And I think I'm realizing that I have to just set boundaries, and like boundaries are a good thing. And I think I saw this post one time where they say when you set boundaries with people, it really highlights what kind of relationship that you have with them. Because for the people where you say yes to everything, is it truly a relationship because it's always serving them? And the moment you say no to something, then they have an attitude. Oh no. Oh no. And especially if you know the kind of person that you're dealing with, where you know that they struggle with like taking time for themselves or setting boundaries and they want to cop an attitude with you, snip, snip, Gemma. The people who are for you and who love you are going to understand those times where you have to set boundaries because you're already a selfless person. So, like Donovan said, say it louder for the ones in the back. There's definitely a difference between being selfish and setting boundaries. And we're all about setting good, healthy boundaries in our work. So, oh, wait, Jim say, yes, I have boundaries, but I think my boundaries are like a pillow wall some days. No, that's real. That is so real. Okay, well, you got to stick to them, Gemma. That's about practicing what you preach. If this is a boundary that you set, you got to hold yourself accountable. And again, those people that know and love you and support you should understand what they should be holding you accountable to your boundaries too, you know? So we have to do a session on that this summer on success sessions because I need help too. We can all figure it out together and try to balance our boundaries. And I will say that each day, like it might shift, but at least if you have your core set of boundaries and you try your best to stay to them, and maybe some days you might have to have some pillow wall boundaries, but some days you're gonna have a brick wall, steel wall that nobody's getting through. And then usually as the days goes on, you find a happy balance. But yeah, y'all know, y'all are on it. Okay, so the second point to having an unselfish mindset is that everyone is needed in order to make things work, and that kind of helps. It kind of takes the pressure off, because I feel like a lot of the times when you get put in leadership positions, it's going to take you outside of your comfort zone and you're not going to know everything. And that's fair because no one knows everything. But that's one of my favorite quotes. It says, no one knows everything, but everyone knows something. So if we work together and we put our stuff together, we're really probably going to make a better impact. And so that like helps me as I'm thinking through some of these concepts with servant leadership, and I'm realizing, okay, it's not about me. If I get a critique or I'm not doing something, how can I utilize the people around me? How can I realize that my team is there to help me? And how can we all take ownership over this so that it's not just on one person? And then one person gets all the praise or one person gets all the heat. No, we're here to serve each other, to serve others, and come together. So let me see. Mindset honestly depends on how I'm setting boundaries around some people. So I'm strict with some people, and other people just get the soft side. That's so true. Y'all, okay, we really are doing a session on boundaries. It's done. And y'all got to come on with me so we can really talk about this stuff in real time because it's the boundaries. We gonna get them together this year. We gonna get after this summer. We'll be ready. And Mr. I see you. Said, Miss Simone, you teaching us today, really bringing me back to summer. Oh, I love you guys. I'm so excited for this summer. We are going to have a ball, y'all. We're going to learn good stuff. We're going to have fun. It's going to be great. And this is a nice teaser. But I really want us to embody this so by the time we get to the summer, we'll already have servant leadership down for the most part, and we can get to all the good stuff too. But the third point is really helping everyone on your team to see their value and know their contribution matters to the success of your team. And this is what I love because usually, again, when you hear leadership, you don't first think about team, but like the part of servant leadership is like we're here to serve our bigger purpose, whether that's our community, and we're here to serve each other. Like it really takes that pressure away from having this mindset that if I'm a leader, it's all about me, it's all about the power, all the wins are me, all all the failures are on me. And that's just not realistic, especially when each person has so many gifts and talents. When you're coming from a place of servant leadership, like you recognize that. And there's definitely going to be, y'all probably been on group projects and stuff before where there's a few people that be slacking or, just there's going to be some people that might be difficult to work with, but even those people have value and even they can add something. So we just have to like remember that and really try to help everyone feel ownership instead of like pushing them away, talking about them, judging them. Like, how can we think of ways to serve them and support them? Because once you do that, they're going to turn that back around and they're going to want to support you and help the bigger goal and mission of your team. And then everybody wins. And then, um, Oh, Jimmy, yes. People bring value in so many different ways, so many ways. And our society is not really set up to really amplify that, which is why we have to start really thinking about servant leadership, y'all. And y'all, like I said, y'all already do it. But if we can start getting this down pat and like telling more people about servant leadership, I feel like it will make the world a better place because we all have things that we can contribute. It might just look different or sound different or be different, but different isn't always bad. It's just different, and we just got to explore it. And then, okay, yes, so gratitude and compliments go a long way, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but one of my love languages, do y'all know the love language quiz where they have, oh, I think it's words of affirmation. They have quality time, there's gifts, there's physical touch and acts of service. And if y'all haven't taken the love language quiz, please go take it because it's so good. Yes, gift giving them, like they have really good ways for you to know yourself and the ways that you like to be loved so that you can express that to other people in your life. And I think they have ones for like relationships if you have like a intimate relationship, but y'all too young for that. So don't be well, okay, no, y'all kind of grown, but not too grown. Okay, so but it's I use it even with like my family and stuff too, just like sharing with people that words of affirmation is one of my top love languages. So like when people give me a compliment, like Don, like, when you sing this is too good, I love that. It blesses my whole heart. Thank you so much because I want to make sure that this is good for y'all. Like that stuff gets me going. Y'all said acts of service. Yes. Another one's quality time. Anyway, it doesn't even have to be your main love language, but I feel like no matter what, people like and need affirmations. And you know, finding out people's love language, it could be affirmations in different ways. If people like gifts, maybe you can give someone a gift card for their good work. If people just like quality time, maybe you take your team out to go enjoy, a day together. Um, I don't know about physical touch. You got to be careful because not everybody, you can't be you don't want to catch a case, but a high five, maybe. If you're close with that person, you can give them a hug. And then acts of service, you can reward people like, hey, you took notes at the last meeting, you did really good. I'll take notes this time. Or you presented, let me do that. So there's just different ways that you can show people that yes, Donovan hug. I'm a hugger for sure, so I would love a hug. Um, but there's just so many ways that we can show our gratitude and appreciation for people, and I think the more you do that, the more you get it back in return, and like it kind of goes back to that unselfish mindset because when you're in a service and mind space of like others, you realize it's like, have you guys heard that saying, it's better to give than receive? Because usually when you are more giving, you receive it. Like if you're loving and nice and positive, people are gonna be loving, nice, and positive back. If you're being a leader that's thinking about other people and how you can go the extra mile for them, they're probably going to be thinking, okay, how can I go the extra mile for this person? So it really creates like a good cycle of positivity. All right, y'all. And then the last one, number 4, is building leadership in others. And like we already kind of talked about this in the other ones, but it really, really, really is key because I'm sorry, I can't remember who said it, But somebody said that everyone has something to offer, and they really do. So when you're in your leadership roles, I know sometimes it's like, we could get caught up and just like making sure that we're doing good and we look good. But you're not just there to build up a name for yourself, but rather a dream team, Like you really want to try to be that person that people look to as like a mentor or a coach. And sometimes this is going to take a little extra work. You might have to do that one-on-one reach out. You might have to stay a little later on the meeting. You might have to pick up the slack for someone because they're not carrying their weight, but through the coaching and mentoring, they start getting better over time. And then they start getting better. And all those hours that you put in are a good return on your investment. It didn't go to waste. So just always think, how can I be here to help support you, especially as a leader? Oh, I love it. I see y'all talking about the hugs. Oh, this is good. Okay, wait till we get back in person, y'all, because I'm a hugger. I'll be hugging y'all. All right. So, how is servant leadership different than other types of leadership now that we kind of talked about it? Y'all have any ideas? How do you feel like this is different than some of the other kind of leadership styles that you've seen or that you've heard of? And do you feel like, sorry, I'm asking y'all too many questions at one time. um, but yeah, how do y'all feel? Is this like servant leadership concept? What y'all think of when you think of leadership? Because I feel like this is what we try to embody in Heart Smiles. But y'all let me know. I'm gonna go to the next slide while y'all answer. Yes. Gemma said it's like a domino effect of more leadership and other people. Yes, 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 yes. And that's what we need, y'all. We don't need a society filled of broke bombs. We really need each other to step up as leaders in our own way, in our own rights, because it'll help the community prosper. It'll help us prosper. It's going to be great. So for me, some points that stuck out is like servant leadership is focused on people, whereas other leaderships might be focused on power and control. And like that's for the birds. Like people think that trying to get power and control is going to make you a leader, but it doesn't. Like when you are focused on building up yourself, building up people, by nature, you will probably get that power and control that you weren't even looking for because you don't even care about that, but it just comes naturally because you have really genuinely focused on people. So, servant leadership is focused on results and not focused on praise like other forms of leadership. So, you have to really be thinking of that mission, that why, that goal, because again, those tensions are going to come. There are going to be some people you don't want to work with, but if you focus on the results and not so much on like, okay, who's getting the credit, who's getting all the kudos, it's not about just getting the work done so that you can say you did good. It's trying to have a meaningful experience through the process and through that process really getting the results that you want because everyone on your team has contributed. And then servant leadership is focused on solving problems, whereas other leadership styles might get distracted by conflict or drama, you know, focused on listening instead of always talking and always trying to be right or always trying to have the last word. Servant leadership is focused on strategy and really navigating through the different things that might come your way and creating a strategy with your team rather than just focused on authority and trying to tell people this is what we're doing and this is how we do it and not being transparent if things go wrong because that's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to help you go with your team, come up with a collaborative solution, help you think about things that you might about and then you can't add it to your strategy because you were so focused on power and control that you didn't check in with your team to see if there was a different way of getting to your goal and getting to the results. So let's see what y'all are saying in the chat. Tim said, rather than just being the lead and not being built up to be a leader, love that. Maya said, I think it's the same minds thing. Like, not everyone will follow your leadership, but people that think the same as you will follow and eventually lead themselves. Yes, Maya, yes. And so, you know, like, I just try to keep this in mind because it is hard, especially when um, we might come in contact with lots of different leadership styles that are more so on the right than the left. But if y'all can remember those four principles and try to remember, these tips, then y'all will just keep getting even better and better with your leadership. And hopefully the world can try to keep being a better place. But I have lots of hope. When I'm with y'all and I'm with Heartbeats, I have lots of hope. When I'm in other spaces, sometimes I get very concerned. I'm like, this is how y'all are acting. This is exactly why things are not getting done. This is exactly why they've been the same way this whole time. But now that we know a little bit about servant leadership, I want y'all to tell me now, like, who are some of y'all's favorite servant leaders that comes to mind now that y'all know about this? And I'm going to share a little bit of examples from mine. Like I said, our Heart Smiles family. I feel like the Heart Smiles mission, the vision is very much so about servant leadership. Like Miss Joni, Miss Mo, they never try to toot their own horn. They're always saying about how can we serve y'all? How can we serve the young people? Miss Emma, a lot of the adult mentors that are on Heart Smiles really try to embody the servant leadership mindset. And I love that. And y'all do the same thing. And I think it's because the adults are trying to pour into you guys what servant leadership is, and y'all embody that, and then y'all pour it into other young people that y'all are interacting with, and then you see how it starts to create a culture of leaders that are not just about power or money or being right, but about really building up others. This is our perfect example, which is why we love Heart Smiles. This is what we do. Harriet Tubman came to mind because y'all, who is really going to escape slavery and come back for other people? What? Like, that woman is a whole boss. Like, she is the definition of servant leadership. Like, she definitely could have just went on about her business, had her life. Nobody would have been mad. I mean, none of us have experienced slavery. It was dark times. But even with that fear and all that, she led others to freedom too. So just know that that's a part of our history and lineage. And if Harriet Tubman can do it, we could do servant leadership too. I think about Martin Luther King Jr. and how he had a good influence in trying to think about others before himself. Our first lady, Michelle Obama, she had a really good platform because I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like a lot of other first ladies, maybe I'm biased because I love Michelle Obama, but they kind of just were cute. They were nice, but like, I really felt like Michelle Obama was out there, like really leading initiatives, really trying to help support the people so that, we could be like a better country and a better world. And she wasn't just all about the title. It was about really serving. So I see y'all sharing some good stuff in the chat. Let me see. Miss Mo, Dr. K, Miss Joni, of course, yes. I think I saw Kim, G Channel, Shalwa, yes. Let's see. The real one, TK, what you saying? You said, I'm the same way. I work at a middle school and Heartbeats. You guys are winning, but there's a lot of other kids who need your leadership and motivation. Yes, that is so true. It is true, like y'all. If we can keep being servant leaders, it's gonna embody and empower other young people to be leaders and have this mindset. And then they're gonna tell their friends and family, and then they're gonna tell their friends and family. And before you know it, we'll have a whole city and culture full of servant leaders that get stuff done, that's not worried about politics and money and who likes who and who doesn't like who and who's having drama. We're focused on the mission and the purpose and really listening to each other, building each other up, setting healthy boundaries, which we're going to talk about this summer, and just trying our best and being vulnerable when we make mistakes. Because yes, we're going to make mistakes, like we're people, it happens, but we can be transparent, we can be vulnerable and keep it pushing. And yeah. So, y'all, this is so good. I really, really, really enjoyed this. Oh, I can't wait for the summer. I know it's really never enough time. Y'all know how we do. We'll be here all night. I'm trying to convince people. I'm like, how do we create like a little heart smiles, like neighborhood camp, just a week, something where we could just like really be here talking about these topics, having fun, you know, some performances. Tim, shout out to you. I want to hear all your music. Elders, I know we have Soul Sings, Gemma Paints, y'all leading presentations. Like, I want to see it all. Like, I just need to have a whole Heart Smiles week. So I'm excited. Yes, boot camp, Heart Smiles boot camp, Donovan. That would be so good. So good. So Nancy said, I definitely need to do a better job with forgiving myself. That is so real. Sydney, you better preach because we only have 4 minutes and I'm about to go in on that because that's a really good point. Y'all give yourselves grace, okay? Grace is like just allowing yourself to make mistakes and not beat yourself up about it. You definitely want to hold yourself accountable. You don't want to get in like a place where you're just like comfortable with always, staying the same or not getting better. But half the time, y'all are working hard, okay? Y'all are out here really trying to embody servant leadership, student leadership. Y'all are on projects, like y'all are just doing the daggone thing. So if you have your moments, oh, thanks, Cam. If y'all have your moments, please, 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 please give yourself grace. Take some time for you and then come back stronger the next day. Cause y'all are popping. Y'all got this. But all right. I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I hope y'all do something for you because you deserve it. I hope y'all get your homework done. Please get the homework done because I'm gonna need y'all to be doing all the great things so that I can retire early. So I need y'all to get these degrees, which means you need to do your homework. And then I need y'all to do something that you enjoy, something for you, because y'all deserve it. But I love y'all. I hope you have a great night, and I can't wait for us to do this almost every day this summer at 10 a.m. You know that's how we do this summer. Success sessions are going to be lit. We're going to be lit. And I'm going to go because if I don't, I'm going to keep talking. But I love y'all. I hope you have a great night. Bye.